Is investing really just a game for the rich? No, all it takes is one rupee and one true intention. A small room, bills scattered across the table, a half-empty coffee cup, and a man sitting there thinking, I have nothing. He believed that money is his biggest problem. But Andrew Tobias's book says, the most valuable thing you already have is your mind. Tobias begins his book with a piercingly honest question. Do you really lack money or understanding? Because money, Tobias says, is never the real problem. It's the way you think. He explains that most people say, I'll start investing when I earn more. But the truth is, if you can't manage small money wisely, you won't manage big money either. This book teaches that investing doesn't begin with wealth. It begins with discipline. He says, you don't need to be rich to start investing, but you need to start to become rich. Tobias's first lesson is simple. Change your habits, not your money. He says, saving a small amount every month, not spending like the rich, and tracking your expenses. That's where it all begins. And this is exactly where most people give up, because saving isn't glamorous. It doesn't make you rich overnight. But Tobias reminds us, those who skip small steps today miss big opportunities tomorrow. He gives a fascinating example. If someone saves just $50 a month and invests it at a 10% annual return, in 30 years they'll have over $100,000, just $50 a month. That's less than 2 Starbucks coffees a week. Crazy, right? And this is where Tobias's real message begins. Money doesn't grow by magic. It grows by patience. Money doesn't grow by hard work alone. It grows by calm persistence. Andrew explains that true wealth isn't what you see in a bank account. It's reflected in your decisions. He says, every time you decide to spend, you're deciding the kind of person you want to become. Every small decision you make, from a Netflix subscription to an unnecessary online purchase, shapes your financial future. Now think about this. If you start saving just 10% of your income each month, what could change in the next 5 years? Maybe your lifestyle becomes simpler, but your freedom grows exponentially. Tobias says, every dollar you save is a tiny employee working for you. The more of these employees you create, the stronger your empire becomes. And that's the true definition of investing. Your money working for you, instead of you always working for money. The book teaches that investing isn't just about stocks or mutual funds. It's a way of thinking, understanding priorities, giving your money direction, and moving steadily toward financial independence. That's the real investment mindset. Andrew Tobias doesn't teach this through numbers alone. He uses real-life lessons. He shows that whoever masters self-control has already won half the game. So if you don't have money today, that's okay, because Tobias says you already have the power to think, and that's your real capital. Start small, grow big, because every great investment once began with a small intention. In the next part of this book summary, The Art of Saving Before You Invest, we'll discover how, according to Tobias, saving is the most underrated form of investment. Have you ever wondered, why do some people slowly become rich even with a small salary, while others, despite earning lakhs, end up broke by the end of the month? Andrew Tobias says, it's not the lack of money, it's the lack of understanding that keeps us poorer. Light bulb the foundation of money. Think before you spend. It's so easy to say, I don't have enough money to invest. But the real question is, have we ever looked at where the money goes? Because the journey to wealth doesn't start with income. It starts with control over expenses. Tobias explains that there are 2 kinds of things in everyone's life: needs and wants. Needs are what we require to live: food, clothes, shelter. Wants are what we buy to show off: new phones, branded clothes, weekend parties at restaurants. Most people confuse the two, and that mistake keeps them trapped in saving mode their whole life. Thought balloon the power of small steps. Tobias keeps reminding us that every beginning is small, whether it's investing, business, or life itself. No one becomes rich overnight, but those who understand the game of compound growth eventually surpass everyone else. I remember a friend who started a SIP with just 100 Indian rupees. At first, he thought, what difference will this make? But slowly, saving became a habit. Today, that very habit is his greatest strength. Tobias explains that this mindset of starting small and staying consistent is what determines whether you'll stay stuck or soar. If that same 80 Indian rupees a day is invested every month in a good mutual fund or SIP, it can grow into lakhs over time. That's the true power of start small, grow big dollar banknote. Small seeds, but long-term patience. Brain the psychology of money. Many people think, I'll start saving when I earn more. But Tobias says, if you can't save 1 Indian rupee out of 10 Indian rupees, you won't save 1 Indian rupee lakh out of 10 Indian rupees lakhs. Habits must come before higher income. If your mind tells you to spend instantly on everything today, then with more money, it'll only make you spend even faster. That's why Tobias advises, first, manage your spending, then learn to invest. Bar chart the true meaning of investment. When people hear the word investment, they immediately think of stocks or crypto. But according to Tobias, the first step of investing is building the right mindset and right system. Your very first investment should not be in a stock. It should be in your financial education. Money can't solve the problems that habits create. Meaning, if your habits are wrong, no amount of income will ever create lasting wealth. Receipt budget, your first investment plan. Tobias says everyone should create a personal money map, a clear plan of where your monthly income will go. This map should have 3 parts. 1. Essentials, home, food, electricity, transport. 2. Savings. Aim to save at least 10% of your income. 3. Freedom fund, money that will work for your future dreams. Many people think budgeting is boring, but Tobias says, a budget doesn't take away your freedom, it gives it back. Because when you know where your money is going, you don't feel guilt or fear. You make the decisions, money doesn't control you. Small investments, big freedom. Tobias often shares this example. A person who starts investing at age 25, putting just $100 per month, can become a millionaire by age 60, thanks to the power of compound interest. Now think, $100 is roughly 8,000 Indian rupees. Is that really a huge amount? No, but one person thinks, what can I do with such a small amount? While another thinks, if I start today, my tomorrow will be better. The difference lies only in mindset, but the outcome is worlds apart. Fire from small savings to confidence. When someone saves even a little each month, a strange confidence begins to grow within. They know that no matter what happens, they have a safety net. Tobias says, every dollar you save buys you a piece of freedom. Every rupee you save makes you a little more free. Background fades out. Seedling planting the seeds of wealth. Andrew Tobias' philosophy is clear. Wealth doesn't come suddenly. It grows slowly through habits. When you save a small part of your income, you're not just collecting money. You're planting seeds for your future. That's why Tobias believes you don't need to be rich. You just need to start becoming rich. If you feel like your money never lasts, or you think you're too small to invest, remember Tobias's most powerful line. Investing is not about timing the market. It's about spending less than you earn consistently. Investing isn't a race, it's a discipline. You just have to do 3 things. Save a little, invest it wisely, and stay patient. That's the real path of start small, grow big. Have you ever noticed the greatest freedom in life comes when you no longer have to worry about money? When the last week of the month doesn't bring fear, but peace. Andrew Tobias says, the goal isn't to get rich fast, it's to stop being scared. Everyone wants to be rich, but true freedom isn't in how much money you have. It's in whether your money works for you, or you're still working for money. The fear of money is subtle. It never appears as direct fear. It hides behind small worries, bills, loans, uncertainty, comparison. And slowly, that fear starts controlling your decisions. Tobias says financial security doesn't come from a number, it comes from control. control over spending, control over emotions, and most importantly, control over impatience. See, money is just a tool, but the moment you attach emotions to it, that tool starts controlling your mind. That's why investing doesn't start with knowledge. It starts with mindset. When you save a little every month, it's not just the numbers that grow, it's your sense of stability that grows within you, because every rupee saved makes you a little more free. Andrew Tobias shares a simple philosophy. Don't buy things you don't need to impress people you don't like. This isn't just about spending, it's about perspective. Every time you spend for others' approval, you're mortgaging your financial freedom. Minimalism isn't about owning less, it's about understanding how little is enough. And when that understanding becomes part of you, investing stops being about profit and becomes about discipline. Time is the real asset. Compound interest is the reward. For those who know how to make time work for them, Tobias says, the market rewards patience, not panic. Every person who panics at every fall loses not to the market, but to their mindset, because investing isn't a race. It's like gardening. You plant the seed, nurture it, and when the time is right, it returns its fruits to you. Those who chase quick wealth often give up just as quickly, but those who stay consistent with small steps slowly reach that peace, where money is no longer stress, it's strength. Andrew Tobias explains, if you build the habit of saving 100 Indian rupees today, that habit gives you the courage to save 1,000 Indian rupees tomorrow. Money doesn't grow, discipline grows, and that discipline eventually becomes wealth. Have you ever thought, what scares you more, losing money or losing control? Because as long as you seek control outside, you'll never find freedom within. An emergency fund or regular savings, they aren't just numbers. They are your protection of self-respect. Because when you have a safety cushion, your decisions come from confidence, not fear. Gradually, you realize financial freedom doesn't mean a luxurious life. It means a life where choices are made by values, not fear. And that's the moment when the true purpose of investing becomes clear. It's not about money. It's about balance of the mind. The goal isn't money, it's peace. And that peace, it compounds too, not just in your bank account, but in your life. Because in the end, the true purpose of money isn't richness, it's freedom. Think about it. What if I told you that the reason you're still poor isn't the lack of money, it's a lack of mindset? Sometimes life reminds us that scarcity isn't always about money. It's about thinking. Many people believe that investing is only for the rich, that you can start investing only when you have thousands of dollars. But that very mindset stops you right where your real journey should begin. Andrew Tobias says in his book, it's not about how much you invest, it's about how early you start. It's not about how much money you have. It's about whether you've started or not. Your start can be small, but it's the most important step. Think about it. If you save just $10 a month and invest it wisely, those $10 will become a habit, a system, and slowly they'll start to change your life. But if you keep waiting for more money, that day might never come. So many people make the same mistake. They think, I have too many expenses right now, or I'll start investing once I earn more. And year after year, they just keep waiting. But those who start early, they begin to experience the power of compound interest. That's the real magic. The magic that turns small money into big wealth over time. Tobias says, every dollar is a soldier. If you deploy it wisely, it will fight for you. Every dollar is like a soldier. If you send it in the right direction, it will work for you. So the real question isn't how much money you have. The question is how you think about your money. Because if you see money only as something to spend, it'll always slip away from your hands. But if you see it as a partner, something that can work for your future, then that's when it becomes your true investment. There's a beautiful line in the book, don't wait for the right time. The right time is now. And honestly, this applies to life itself. We all wait for that perfect moment. But the perfect moment begins the moment you take action. Just one small step, that's all it takes. Because investing isn't a game of money, it's a game of belief. Those who believe in themselves can start under any condition. Think about it. If you save just a few dollars every month for your future, you're not just creating wealth, you're creating discipline. And that discipline becomes your biggest advantage in the coming years. Tobias says, the habit of saving is more important than the amount you save. Because habits stay, amounts change. Let me share a real example. Someone I know started an SIP with just 100 Indian rupees per month. At first, he didn't believe it would make any difference, but he stayed consistent. Within a few years, that small amount grew. It became both his emergency fund and his investment. But more than that, he built discipline, the kind you need to make big decisions in life. Many people ask, what if I have very little money? Can I still invest? Tobias's answer is simple. Yes, you can always start small. Because it's not about money, it's about mindset. If you start small today, you're developing the responsibility that comes before wealth. Because true wealth isn't in your bank balance, it's in your mindset. Those who can think abundance even in scarcity, they're the real investors. Tobias explains that the difference between the rich and the average person isn't just strategy, it's thinking. The average person says, I don't have it right now. The rich says, how can I make it possible? That's the mindset that moves you forward. Even if you're just $10, that's still a start. It will teach you financial discipline. And slowly, that habit will compound and grow bigger. Now imagine, what if you apply this mindset not just to money, but to every area of life? Learning a little, growing a little, building a little, that's the real growth. That's why Tobias's message hits so deep. Start small, but start now. Because time doesn't wait for anyone. And those who take small steps today, take big leaps tomorrow. If you can let go of the thought that you have less, then you already possess the greatest power, the power to act. So next time you feel like saying, I don't have money, ask yourself, do I have courage? If your answer is yes, then you already have everything you need. Because investing isn't just about dollars. It's about your dreams, your discipline, and your patience. And that's the kind of beginning that leads you to financial freedom. Those who start win. Those who wait regret. So if you haven't started yet, take that first small step today. Because start small, grow big dollar banknote isn't just a quote, it's a way of life. When money starts working for you, have you ever wondered what that moment would feel like? The moment you realize that you no longer work for money, but money works for you? That morning, when you wake up with no fear of bills, no EMI stress, no deadlines, just peace. Because deep down, you know that the seeds you once planted are now bearing fruit. Reaching that stage isn't some kind of magic. It only takes understanding, patience, and a little bit of discipline. Andrew Tobias says, you don't need to be rich to start. You just need to start. And maybe that one idea can change millions of lives. Every beginning feels small, like a child learning to ride a bike, falling, rising, falling again. Your first investment feels the same way. What if I lose my money? What if I choose wrong? What difference will such a small amount make? But the truth is, the power of investing doesn't lie in size. It lies in consistency. Saving a few dollars every month isn't just a habit. It's a statement. I control my future, not my circumstances. You've probably heard that Einstein called compound interest the eighth wonder of the world. Yet most people ignore it, calling it boring. They think, what can such small returns possibly do? But time has its own magic. It moves quietly until suddenly you see it. Imagine someone investing just $50 a month. After the first year, nothing looks different. Even in the third year, not much changes. But after 10 years, that small amount has grown like a tree. Because when money meets time, it becomes exponential. Tobias keeps reminding us, investment is not a race, it's a journey. Every step matters. Every fall teaches you something. Every rise strengthens you. The market will go up and down. That's its nature. But if your faith stays strong, no crash can truly bring you down. People think money brings stress, but the truth is the opposite. It's uncertainty that brings stress. When you learn to invest, you learn to control uncertainty. Money no longer feels like pressure, it becomes your partner. Then you begin to understand money isn't just a way to buy luxury, it's a way to buy time. Because when money starts working for you, you can finally do what truly matters. Visit someone you love, learn something new, or simply sit with your family and laugh on a quiet evening. And that is true freedom. Freedom isn't about having millions of dollars. It's about making choices out of desire, not fear. It's when your days are no longer ruled by a boss or a schedule, but by your own heart. That's what investing gives you. An invisible bridge between today's fear and tomorrow's peace. But all of this begins the moment you stop waiting for the perfect time. People often say, "Let me earn a bit more, then I'll invest." But that day never comes. Because as income grows, so do expenses. Time keeps slipping away, and the opportunity compounds in reverse, quietly disappearing. Andrew Tobias says, "Don't wait to be rich to start investing. Start investing to become rich, in peace, not just in money." And that line isn't just financial, it's spiritual. Because when you learn to manage your money wisely, your mind begins to calm down too. Every human has a craving for security, that desire to not depend on anyone. Investment heals that craving. It teaches you that your decisions, your effort, and your patience are what build your future. That's why Tobias keeps saying, start small, grow big. It's not just a financial formula. It's a philosophy of life. Because every big tree once started as a tiny seed. So, if today you have even a little courage, a little patience, a little vision, then you're ready. Investing isn't a race. It's not a trick. It's not a secret. It's a mindset, a promise to yourself. That I will sacrifice a little today so I can live on my own terms tomorrow. And one day, when you look back, you'll realize what you invested wasn't just a few dollars or rupees. It was your trust. And now, that trust is turned into freedom. That's the moment when money truly starts working for you. And you smile because you finally realize you never needed to be rich. You just needed the courage to begin. Freedom, when life becomes bigger than money. Do you also think that if you just had a little more money, everything would finally be okay? We all believe life will get easier when there's more money. But what if the truth is the exact opposite? Sometimes we think, if I had a bit more money, I'd be happy. If my salary increased just a little, life would feel lighter. If I owned a bigger house, a new car, or branded clothes, maybe then I'd be content. But the truth is, contentment can't be found in a shopping cart. It begins the moment you realize money is important, but it's not everything. In this part of Andrew Tobias's book, he writes something deeply powerful. Financial freedom doesn't mean having everything you want. It means not being controlled by what you want. That line isn't just about investing. It defines the freedom of life. Because real freedom doesn't come when you have everything. It comes when you stop chasing everything. As you move forward on your investing journey, a time comes when you realize money is no longer a fear, but a medium. You stop being guided by your bills and expenses and start being guided by your dreams and priorities. Your focus shifts from how much am I earning to how am I living? And that shift is the real transformation. We've been taught our whole lives that success means more. More money, more status, more possessions. But Tobias says, success is not about more, it's about enough. What a beautiful truth. Enough, a single word that carries peace, freedom, and balance within it. When you truly understand that you already have enough, comparison loses its grip, because comparison only exists where there's a sense of lack. Where there's completeness, there's only gratitude. Slowly, that realization begins to change you from within. You stop seeing every investment as a gain or a loss, and start seeing it as a lesson. Every day you manage your finances, It's no longer a moment of stress. It becomes a moment of mindfulness. You learn money can't buy your freedom, but the right mindset and discipline can build it. Then comes a point when you realize financial freedom isn't about your bank balance. It's about your mental balance. When your mind is calm, your decisions are clear, and your confidence is steady, you are truly free. That's the state where money doesn't control you. You control money, where your needs are limited and your desires are managed, where happiness doesn't depend on others' approval, but on the peace that lives within you. Tobias writes, "The best investment you can ever make is in peace of mind." Think about that, how profound it is. Everything you buy, clothes, gadgets, status, gives you temporary happiness. But when you invest in peace of mind, the dividends last a lifetime. And that peace comes from clarity, simplicity, and gratitude. When you understand, I am enough, your whole world begins to change. Now your focus isn't on what's missing, but on the calm that quietly grows inside you each morning. One morning you wake up and start your day not with tension, but with a soft smile, because you know everything you already have is enough. You're content with your work, your relationships, your decisions. You no longer need to prove anything to anyone, because now life is in your control, and control no longer means money. It means freedom. At the end of the book, Tobias writes, "You don't need to be rich to be free. You just need to be smart, calm, and grateful." That's not just financial advice. It's a philosophy of life, because true richness always comes from within. The kind of richness that keeps you steady in every storm, that replaces fear with faith and gives you the strength to say, I can. Now think about it. If today you truly understand that money is just a tool, wouldn't life instantly feel easier? Because then you'd stop chasing it and start guiding it. You begin to value every small step, every small saving, and every quiet moment. Because every time you feel gratitude, you're building invisible wealth, a kind of wealth that never runs out. And when you look back on this journey someday, you'll realize what the real investment was. Not the dollars or rupees, but the faith you place in yourself, the patience you practice with time, and the belief that even slow progress is progress in the right direction. That's the true freedom mindset, where money is no longer the goal, but a companion, where life is no longer a race, but a journey, and with every step, you feel a little more free. So the next time you think about your money, remember, money is a servant, not a master. Earn it, invest it, grow it, but never let it become bigger than your peace. Because in the end, financial freedom means only this: the day your mind says, I am no longer a slave to anything. That day, you are truly rich. Freedom, when life becomes bigger than money. Have you ever wondered, if money isn't everything, then what really is everything? Most people ask this question only when they already have some money, because before that, their mind only says one thing: I need more. But there comes a time when you realize that the real richness lies hidden in one simple word: enough. Money is a tool, but it's not the purpose of life. It should be your servant, not your master. Because the moment money starts controlling your decisions, you start losing your freedom. Andrew Tobias says it perfectly. Money won't change you. It will only amplify who you already are. If you have balance, kindness, and peace inside you, money will amplify that. But if you carry fear, ego, or greed, those traits will grow even stronger. The real investment isn't just in mutual funds or SIPs. It's in your experiences, relationships, and time. Think about it. You work hard every day for money, but have you ever wondered where your time is going? Because when you lose money, you can earn it back. But when you lose time, it never returns. Andrew Tobias writes, "The greatest return comes from time well spent. The hours you spend with your family, the conversations you share with friends, the quiet mornings where you simply watch the sunrise. Those are your real dividends." Every person needs to define what enough means for them. Because until you know what you truly need, you can never find peace. Enough doesn't mean stopping growth. It means growing without losing your peace. And that realization slowly transforms you from within. You begin to understand that peace of mind is the ultimate luxury, a luxury you can't buy in any store. It's found in a small diary filled with gratitude, in a night of deep, undisturbed sleep, or in those few guilt-free moments you spend with yourself. Tobias leaves us with a powerful message. Invest less in impressing others and more in understanding yourself. Because when you truly understand yourself, money becomes your partner, not your pressure. You start realizing there are two kinds of races in life, one to show others and one to find yourself. The first one exhausts you, the second one sets you free. Now imagine this. One morning you wake up with no targets, no deadlines, just a cup of coffee, some sunlight, and peace. That's the true financial freedom, where money is no longer the decision maker, but the quiet supporter of your choices. Tobias says, the purpose of money is to make your life easier, not emptier. And that's the greatest truth. If money is taking away your happiness, relationships, or health, then it's not working for you. You're working for it. Someone once said, when I started earning money, I thought I was becoming rich. But when I started earning time, that's when I truly became rich. That's the exact mind shift this book teaches. Financial literacy isn't just about saving or investing. It's about control and clarity. Every morning when you manage your expenses, every time you resist an impulsive purchase, every time you save a small portion for investment, you're not just building money, you're building discipline and freedom. As the book says, money can't buy happiness, but it can buy peace if you know how to use it. And that use isn't just an earning, it's an awareness. Think about it. Every time you consciously choose not to buy something, you're not only saving money, you're saving your mental energy and expanding your clarity. Financial peace doesn't mean having millions. It means knowing every night that whatever happens tomorrow, you'll be ready for it. Andrew Tobias sums it up beautifully. You don't need to be rich. You need to be calm, clear, and consistent. These three words are the heart of the entire book. Calm, emotional stability. Clear, financial understanding. Consistent, patience and discipline. And maybe that's the real compound interest, where your knowledge, patience, and confidence grow a little more every single day. So the next time you check your expenses or think about an investment, remember this. You're not just earning money. You're building your time, peace, and purpose. Real wealth isn't in your bank balance. It's in your balance with life. Freedom, the art of balance. Have you ever noticed? True freedom begins the moment you no longer feel the need to prove anything. Not to others, not even to yourself. Andrew Tobias says, money isn't about having more, it's about needing less. And maybe that one line sums up the entire journey. Because we're all running after something. More income, more recognition, more security. But the real question isn't, how much do you have? It's, how much do you need to sleep peacefully at night? Every person carries two voices inside. One that says, I need more, and another that whispers softly, this is enough. The first is loud. The second, quiet but true. Tobias teaches, if you learn to listen to that second voice, money stops being your stress and becomes your strength. Throughout this journey, we've seen how fear, greed, risk, and patience together shape the story of financial maturity. But now, it's time for the final step, balance. Balance means not earning too much, not spending too much, just having enough to make life meaningful. Have you ever seen a tightrope walker? He doesn't fear falling. He simply trusts his balance. Money works the same way. If you walk each day with awareness and trust, you'll complete your journey without falling. Tobias reminds us, financial planning isn't about perfection, it's about balance. So if you make mistakes, don't blame yourself, because mistakes don't define your future. Consistency does. Sometimes we think those leading the race of life are the winners, but Tobias reminds us, the happiest people aren't the richest ones, They're the most balanced. And that balance isn't just about money. It's about time, relationships, and peace of mind. You could have millions, but if you don't have one peaceful evening, you're still poor. Imagine this. You're sitting in your room. It's raining outside. The smell of coffee fills the air, and you're waiting for no calls. That moment, when nothing feels missing, that is true wealth. We often think money brings freedom, but Tobias says, freedom doesn't come from money. It comes from control over your needs. When you control your spending, your desires, and your time, that's when you become truly free. Save a little, invest a little, and live a little. That's the simplest yet most powerful formula. Tobias once wrote, "Be frugal but not fearful. Spend wisely, but don't live in fear. If one evening you want to have dinner with a good friend, do it, because memories are more valuable than interest rates." That's what real financial wisdom means. Your money shouldn't limit your experiences. It should support them. Have you noticed? We often divide life into two parts, work and rest. But Tobias teaches the art of living both at once, to feel peace while working and to feel no guilt while resting. He says, money is a tool, but peace is a choice. Wisdom isn't about having everything. It's about knowing what truly matters and what doesn't. In today's world, everyone's racing in the fast lane. Every app, every update, every market alert pushes us to rush. But Tobias reminds us, patience is still the most profitable investment, because markets will change, trend will fade, but those who stay always win. One day, when you look back at your journey, you'll realize the things that gave you the most peace were never the ones you could buy. Maybe it was the people who stood by you, the words you shared, or the moment you finally trusted yourself. In the final chapter, Tobias writes, "Don't chase wealth. Build peace. Wealth will follow." And that line is timeless for every generation. Imagine if each month you save a little, invest a little, donate a little, and enjoy a little, life would feel so beautifully balanced. That's the art of balance, where everything has its place and nothing feels too much. Tobias leaves us with a final truth. You don't get rich by earning more. You get rich by wanting less. And that's the real secret. When you learn to manage your desires, your bank balance starts smiling on its own. So as this chapter ends, ask yourself, do you already have what you need, or are you still chasing something you never really needed? If your answer is, this is enough, congratulations, you've already reached the place most people spend their whole lives searching for, because true wealth is never in the bank. It's always in the mind. Balance isn't about having everything. It's about being at peace with what you have. Have you ever wondered why some people seem rich without earning millions, while others make fortunes and still feel miserable? The answer isn't an investment. It's hidden in the mindset. The real beauty of investing unfolds when we stop seeing it merely as a way to grow money and start seeing it as a new way to think. That's exactly what Andrew Tobias explains in his book, The Only Investment Guide You'll Ever Need. He says investing isn't just about where to put your money, but why you're putting it there and how you think about it. He points out that most people make financial decisions in haste, buying a stock because a friend suggested it, or jumping into crypto after watching a YouTube video. But the truth is, investing is an art of patience and discipline. If you can keep your mind calm and your habits in control, you can succeed in any market condition. Andrew says the biggest mistake investors make is trying to get rich fast, and that very chase leads them to loss. He believes, get rich slowly, but move in the right direction, because money runs away as fast as you try to chase it. He gives one powerful lesson. You don't need to be rich to start investing, but you need to be smart to stay rich. In other words, wealth doesn't begin with money. It begins with mindset. If your perspective is right, even a small investment can grow into something big over time. Now comes the question, what is the right mindset? According to Tobias, the right mindset means discipline. If you track your monthly expenses, understand the difference between needs and wants, then you're already on your way to becoming wealthy. Because a wise person first controls his habits, and then his money. The book gives a beautiful example. Suppose you have $1,000 left at the end of the month. You can spend on a fancy gadget that gives you momentary joy, or invest it in an index fund and let it work for you for the next 10 years. Money spent is gone, but money invested grows. Now think, if you could have so much confidence that you never worry about tomorrow, isn't that true wealth? Andrew also says, investing isn't only about markets, it's about yourself. When you learn a new skill, pay for a good course, or take care of your health, that's also an investment, because when you grow in value, your income naturally follows. Many people believe that investing is a game for the rich, but Tobias shatters that myth. He says, anyone, no matter how small their income, can change their future. They just need to start. The start may be small, but if the intention is big, the impact will be too. He advises dividing your money into 3 parts. 1, for needs, basic living expenses, home food bills. 2, for safety, emergency funds, medical costs, etc. 3, for future, the money that will buy your freedom later. Most people forget the third one, but that's where true wealth begins. Tobias also reminds us that being rich doesn't mean having more money. It means having fewer worries. If you have enough to pay your bills without fear each month, you're already richer than most. This mindset teaches gratitude. He says, stop being afraid of money. Fear stops you from making decisions. When the market crashes, don't panic. That's the time to buy, not sell. That's what separates great investors from average ones. This part of the book carries a powerful message. Backhand index pointing right. A successful investor isn't the one who wins every trade, but the one who learns from every mistake. So, if you ever make a bad investment, don't blame yourself. Ask, what did I learn from this? The first time your investment gives you even a small return, it doesn't just return money, it returns confidence. Andrew believes that in the long run, the market always moves upward. You just need to stay consistent. He says, patience is not about waiting. It's about staying committed even when the results are not visible yet. Patience doesn't mean sitting idle. It means having faith when the results haven't shown up yet. He also warns, never chase trends. When everyone is buying, pause and think. When everyone is selling, ask yourself, is this a real fall or just fear? This awareness is what defines smart investing. Tobias emphasizes understanding your own financial habits. Ask yourself, am I spending on things I don't really need? Am I investing a portion of my income regularly? Do I make decisions based on pressure or my own reasoning? If you can answer these honestly, your investing habits will automatically improve. Finally, he says, wealth isn't a destination, it's a journey. It begins the day you decide, I will own my money, not be owned by it. And that journey doesn't end when you have a lot of money. It ends when you have peace of mind. So if you think, I don't have enough money to invest, remember, you don't need money. You need the right mindset. And that mindset says, start small, stay consistent, and let time do the magic. That's the same magic that has made millions of ordinary people financially free. And you could be one of them too. Just take the first step and let the power of investing turn your dreams into reality. Have you ever asked yourself on a quiet morning, why am I really earning money? For your home? For your family? Or just because everyone else is doing it? Andrew Tobias says, until you understand why you need money, you'll never be able to use it in the right direction. Money, by itself, is not the destination. It's just a medium, a bridge that helps you reach your true goals in life. But too often, we mistake that bridge for the destination. We think more money means more happiness. But Tobias reminds us, money can buy comfort, but not contentment. Once, there was a man who saved just $20 every month. At first, it didn't feel like much. But after 8 years, that small habit paid for his kids' education and his family vacations. That's the real power of investing. Small, consistent, and wise. Not everyone needs to be rich, but everyone deserves to be free. Free to do what they love. Free from financial pressure. Free from living on someone else's terms. Tobias says, control your emotions, and your investments will control themselves. Meaning, if you can master your mind, your money will automatically find its right place. Always remember, money doesn't just grow in your bank account. It grows in your mindset. Every smart decision, every unnecessary expense you avoid, all of it quietly builds your future. So next time you make a financial decision, pause and ask yourself, is this bringing me closer to my real purpose? If the answer is yes, that's your best investment. Andrew Tobias' book teaches us this one priceless truth. Earning money is easy, but using it wisely, that's the real art. And if this journey taught you something new today, drop a like, comment below, and tell us what true investing means to you. And don't forget to subscribe, because the next book summary might just change the way you think even deeper. After all, invest for a better life, not just for money. Sunrise,